to Cashflow Savannah. This is episode 6. Today's guest is Chandler's friend and mine, Aiden Wigfall. He has an amazing story. This is a teenager, actually, and this is the kind of person that you don't meet every day. And the day I met Aiden was the day I became his biggest fan. He's really exceptional. So I know everyone will really enjoy his story. What did you think today, Chandler? Did you learn a few things?
Oh yeah, I always learn something from the youngin. Yeah, to meet someone that thinks that big at that age is just incredible. And to do that in high school was very tough because you know how high school is. It's a weird space to be in. People can either make fun of you or they're gonna love it. And so it's kind of he's just being himself and doing big things.
He really is. This guy has a very bright future. Before we get into our interview with Aiden, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, which is Sid Was Here, which is where Chandler and I both work. That is a property management company. We manage furnished rentals, but we also work with investors. So Team 912, which is the team that we work with for sales, is also affiliated with Sid Was Here. So as investors, we know that you're always trying to put together numbers, and that's a big deal. You have to know your numbers before you buy investment real estate. Well, we have on sidwashere.com, we have an opportunity where you can go in and pull a free insurance quote within like 30 seconds. Chandler and I both use it. I always need to know what the insurance is going to cost and the taxes before I can write an offer. So if you go to sidwashere.com and then click on the button at the bottom that says insurance for investors, you can put in the address, the number of bedrooms, whether it'll be a long-term rental or a furnished rental. And within a minute or so, you will have a quote in your email. So we want to put this out there. It's a free service. We're happy to do it. And we really want everyone to be able to pull the right numbers. So without further ado, we're going to welcome in Aiden Wigfall.
All right, welcome to Cashflow Savannah. I am here with Aiden Wigfall. He's a wholesaler here in Savannah, and he is 17 years old and just got his first deal recently. How you doing, Aiden?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We are doing good. I'm also here with Julie Gates. I'm sorry I forgot to introduce you.
Oh, that's
She's
all
up
good.
there too. Julie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Chandler and I, we had the opportunity to meet Aiden when he was 16. You started at 16. Am I right, Aiden? And you're that kind of
Yes, ma'am.
guy. You're kind of quiet and in the background, but once I got to know you and had a conversation with you, I was like, wow, like you're really driven. You're such a hard worker. And I'm just so excited to share your story with everyone. You really
Thank,
are a one percenter.
thank you. Trying to make sure my phone is charged. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell us your story. Tell us how you got started. Tell us your background. Just give us kind of the real quick view of how you got here.
Well, I'm in the house with a person who got me started. He told me about wholesaling 2 years ago. His name is Terry. He has an Instagram as well. It's Bird Terry. Um, he was just. I remember we was having a long conversation about life and choices. Um, Especially here in Savannah. And he was just like he was telling me his life story, and he was telling me about wholesaling. Like our conversation got to how people make money, things like that. And he started telling me about wholesaling. And he told me he had dabbled in it, but he had some under contract, but he never closed on it. And at the moment that was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, because I'm 17 now. And the moment it didn't make sense to me because he was like essentially is making money with a house with little to no money into it. And it just the concept was foreign to me, so I kind of dismissed it. But 2 years later, I was working I think I was working at Chipotle. And I was like, man, I kind of hate working for somebody. Because I've been working since I was 11. I was working at Davis Crab House on the West Side, and I've had a lot of jobs. But I don't like getting paid hourly. If I get paid, I want to do it for like I kind of want to I don't know how to word this, like with wholesaling or sales in general. It's you make what you make is kind of malleable, and you kind of shape it. What 9 to 5s is you have to have certain credentials, and you have to they have to like you, and it's a lot that I'm really not interested in. I don't want to work a job 20 years to have the seniority to get a certain pay, or give up time when there is a lot I want to do earlier in life.
So,
Oh yeah, so 2 years later.
So correct my math.
Sorry?
You learned about wholesaling at 14. Is that right?
I did.
Wow. Okay, continue. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I had that right.
And 2 years later, my stepfather, yeah, Chipotle. I was working at Chipotle. Like, man, I don't work at this. I was looking up ways to make money. And, I tried the drop shipping thing. They had a lot of ways. And I eventually came across wholesaling. My stepfather told me about Lily Invest on YouTube, and he put me on her videos and started watching her videos. And her whole thing was the MLS. And that's how she got her deals, because she's inspired by Jerry Norton, who he works with a lot of agents. So due to her videos, she was like, hey, you should reach out to local groups, things like that. Due to her videos, I reached out to the group actual real estate investors, Savannah, and the other group, real estate investors in Savannah. And through that, I was like, hey, I'm a wholesaler looking for buyers. And apparently I wasn't supposed to be looking for buyers. But since because I guess it's against the rule to say ask for buyers without having a deal. But they're like, since I'm 16, they were gonna look out for me. So Jabbar, he invited me to one of those meetings as Java Burrito that Corey was hosting. And I think that's where I met Julie. Yeah, that is where I met Julie. And she invited me to her home. That's where I met Chandler as well. She invited me to her home. And we ate. And that's where I met Marcel as well.
Marcel
and I reached out to him. Yeah, shout out Marcel. He played a huge part. And I wouldn't have got that first deal without him. And I wouldn't know anything about wholesaling really without him. Because like YouTube and a lot of things, they'll kind of teach you like, hey, you get a contract, then you find a buyer, and then it's done. But it's like a lot of pitfalls and a lot of things that I didn't know, especially with foreclosures, which is how I got my first deal. So yeah, I met Marcel. He was talking about creative finance, Pace Mortgage, things like that. Marcel's a sub-2 student. And I after we ate at Julie's house, he gave me his number. I texted him a couple days later, and he told me to pull up on him at Chelsea Phillips' office where he works at. And we did some role play with calls. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you get your first deal," and he did. We thought we was gonna get it much earlier. We was under contract. 2 months in, I was under contract, but that fell through for a lot of different reasons. But it's been a lot of ups and downs. But that's how I got started. I've always been interested in real estate. I have my grandfather, his home. It was in my family. I don't know why I get it, and the camera's kind of weird. I have it tattooed on me, 219 Fishburne Street.
Okay.
It's been my family 4 generations. It was recently sold. Family and everything, but I want to immortalize that because I just really believe in home ownership and generational wealth. And I think wholesaling is a path to that. Just because it deals with that realm. You could what else I realized with wholesaling is that you could know everything about housing. You can know everything about real estate and housing and things like that, but that won't make you a good wholesaler because it's sales. It's not real estate. So it's but I like wholesaling outside of other avenues of sales just because it deals with houses, and I know that it's a easier transition from wholesaler to like a real estate investor if I stick with this.
How tough was it to walk in that room for the first time, Aiden? When we have these meetups. I know you knew a few guys in there, but really not that many. Like that had to have been tough because I was scared the first time I went. I didn't know anyone, but
I'm trying to think if I went with the first time with my stepfather.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was I didn't know anybody. Jabbar had reached out to me, but I didn't know anyone there.
That's amazing.
It wasn't I wouldn't say it was scary. It was new. I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, it wasn't I wouldn't say it was scary. It was exciting, really.
I remember speaking to you that night, and you knew exactly what you wanted and where you were going. And you told me in 2-3 sentences. And I mean, I was just like, "Wow, can you come over for dinner?" Like, I wanted to get to know you better as soon as I met you. I was just so impressed, and I think that drive and knowing what you want is so important. Now, you were born and raised here, Aiden, is that right? And you know this town well?
I wasn't born
Okay.
here. I was born in Virginia. My
Oh, okay.
father, military, he moved around a lot. A lot of my childhood was spent in Beaufort, South Carolina. All my mother and my grandmother, they're from Savannah. They're from East Savannah. All her siblings are from East Savannah. And I've been coming here all my life. Um, but yeah, I grew up in Savannah essentially. Um, and that's another reason I'm so passionate about real estate, things like that. Just because a lot of historically black areas, areas where they've turned into renters now, which is unfortunate. And I um, even with like how the West Side is changing and what uh taking down Yamacraw and I believe they're targeting Frazier now. I just part of me part of me being into real estate is just to kind of talk to black people in Savannah, like, hey, people want these areas. People up north in New York that are really interested in these areas. It's power of home ownership. And you don't have to. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna sound kind of crazy, but you don't have to jump at the first wholesaler that offers you money to like pennies on a dollar to get out of this house. When you could when you could do a lot with it yourself. Um, and I'm really passionate about that, and I believe wholesaling will be the avenue to that. Eventually, I want to get to the point where I can scale up to low income housing. My cousin Trey, he's getting to that point right now. He has a wholesaling business.
So you're really very passionate about finding the deals and also giving back and making sure to take
Yeah,
care of the seller.
of course. That's why I like working with pre foreclosures because it's I don't want it to be any I don't want it to be any confusion or like any sort of manipulation with a seller. Like if like I want them to have a genuine problem and it's not me like, hey, um it's not me taking advantage or trying to like convince someone to sell instead of them needing to sell,
Right.
you know. And if they do need to sell, I don't want them to a lot of times with foreclosures, a lot of different pre-foreclosures, a lot of people will give them what like the bare minimum of what they need, or even under the bare minimum, or they'll be like, "Hey, I'll let you stay here for 3 months," but they don't put it in writing. They kick them out in 30 days. So if I just think it's important to take care of people, especially in Savannah, where it's a small market, and everybody knows everybody, and reputations mean something.
So Aiden, take us through your first deal. Like, kind of, you said it took a little bit, but kind of take us through like everything that you had to go through to get your first one.
Well, I it's crazy because originally, this way of getting deals, we were going to do it first. Me and Marcel, we were going to do this, but we had bad data. Um, my stepfather bought a deal from. Her brother. Her and brother a team. Alexandria and Darren Scott, Alexandria and Darren Scott, they're wholesalers. Um, Darren was telling me about how he was working on foreclosures now. And he told me about a site called foreclosure.com. And it had all the pre-foreclosures in area, list pendants, which is when foreclosure process first starts, and properties going to auction, which happens the first Tuesday every month, which I believe you guys told me about.
Right.
And what is crazy is that in the newspaper they post all the houses that are going to auction in the next 30 days. But before foreclosure.com, it kind of gets it all in a format where I can, skip trace it and make data mapping everything out. So Darren, he was telling me about how he's working foreclosures. But it was crazy because me and Marcel started out knocking doors for pre-foreclosures, but we had bad data from PropStream. When we should have been using the newspaper. But who got us on that track was Alexis Morgan, who door knocks and deals with a lot of pre-foreclosures. And that like that she's a young prodigy too. I think she started at 17. She did she was going crazy in Orlando. Now she's up in Atlanta with Abraham Gray. And has a whole team of door knockers. But everything that we did based our door knocking off of, I learned from her. I learned from her and Mamadou out in Atlanta. So yeah, Darren, he told me about foreclosures. Marcel was out of state. So I was working with Darren. And I came across this divorced couple out in Quail Forest. And I got really close to making a deal. I believe I posted in a Facebook group. I called Julie actually, and I posted in a Facebook group trying to find somewhere for the lady, like see if the lady could stay somewhere while she transitioned and was getting her credit fixed, things like that. And I came across a buyer. He was willing to let her stay 2 months in there, and would have it in writing.
Right.
But that deal fell through because I learned on this deal. I asked the guy for the loan number. He was already super paranoid. As all foreclosures are, they're tough. It's hard. Because people are scared, and it's a lot of people trying to scam them, take advantage of them. And it's I don't think people realize that a lot of things you think you own, you don't truly own. Even if you own it outright, like someone can always take it. So someone that's been in this house 40 years, their mother owned it. They have a billion memories in it. Their kids grew up in it. When they realize, hey, like this thing I've been saying is mine my entire life isn't really mine, like that can like break a person. And then it's a million people calling them wanting something from them. It's wholesalers one of them want to call them pay them pennies on a dollar. And some wholesalers, when they say, hey, I'm not interested, they'll cuss them out, talk crazy to them, all type of stuff. It's predatory lenders. It's a whole bunch of things going on all at the same time, and then they got their own problems outside of the house that probably led to them going into foreclosure. And it's a lot of things, and it's hard for a lot of people. But I asked him for his loan number. He thought I was trying to scam him. I don't know what I would have done with his loan number.
Right.
I was just trying to call to confirm if he was in bankruptcy or not, and had a 50-day extension to get it sold. And he blocked me. But I got really close to that one, and I was frustrated because it was a divorced couple. So it took a lot for me to even get them to agree on the same thing and walk the property. At first, they didn't even want to sell. I had to convince his wife. I had to convince him to give his ex-wife more, and it was a lot. And I realized that as well is that like you have to move professionally and not let people kind of make you play therapist, things like that. You're here to you're here to help and provide a service, but outside of that, you can't fix anybody. You just fix the solution to the best of your ability. So it was crazy. Then Marcel came back. At first, he didn't think the pre-foreclosures would be anything. He kind of dismissed it. He felt like it'd be like a deal here and there. But we went door knocking, and like the first day of door knocking, when he got back, Marcel, if anyone knows Marcel, he's like he has the gift of gab, and like he can talk to people. So the first house we knocked, that was the lead instantly. Um, I think that was the only door that answered that day too. Well, another door answered, and that was a lead too. But they didn't disclose everything, and they eventually they ended up losing their house because they told us they had it handled, but they didn't. And I guess they thought they did. But you know that fell through. But with this deal, this guy named John, he told us that you know he was still trying different things. His mama had owned the house. He had stayed there 45 years. He had a lot of stuff in it. And he was talking about his memories, things in there. And you know he was showing me everyone that sent him a mail. A lot of people that come to the meetings. I saw a lot of their cards and things like that. And our approach is kind of is a little different than other investors and wholesalers. Is instead of you know trying to buy the property, we initially just try to educate them on how to stop the foreclosure and keep their home if they can.
Right.
And I think that's what separated us from a lot of different people. And instead of coming saying we want something, we kind of came to help. And he I think he appreciated that. So after that, after we initially talked to him, he told us that he had to talk to his sister to see if she could help him at all. And unfortunately she couldn't. So you know, he named a price and it worked out. Um Initially, we thought that we had to get it sold within a week, and find a cash buyer. And like cash, like exactly not like cash with like a lender or a private money lender or anything like that. So we thought we had to close really quickly, but and then he filed for bankruptcy, um, which gave us a 30-day extension, and we got it sold. So it was crazy because it took me 8 months to get my first deal, but within knocking with knocking with Marcel, I got my first deal in 2 weeks essentially.
Wow.
And it was the first day I knocked. So yeah, that's how I got my first day. It was bumps and roll with that, but
You worked hard.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
posted your check on social media, Aiden. Tell everyone what you made on your first deal after all
I
this.
made I made $10,000.
That's great. That's great. I know you're gonna just keep a copy of that or something. Please tell me you framed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna frame it.
That's awesome. Do you have some deals in the works now?
I got a couple I'm working on. I gotta be more aggressive with things. I've been really I've been looking to join a team because I'm like, hey, I don't want to be the wholesaler that just, you know, is working new deals and hustles, things like that without like any like professional like training and getting my skills right, sales skills right. I kind of I feel like I've been walking around kind of aimlessly. And I need to because I'm a real goal oriented person. I need to put certain things in place. So right now I'm looking for a team. My cousin, like I said, Trey, he has a team. I'm thinking about coming there. I just got to sit down with him and discuss how that would go. But I've been looking for teams closer to Savannah or in Savannah where I could probably go into the office or something like that. But I don't know if there's a team big enough here yet for that. Or someone, most of the teams here that are that are big, they're the person that's the head of it. They're already in the acquisition seat. Um, they're not. They're kind of they're still ingratiating the business. Um, and I'm tired of cold calling for people. I kind of outside of cold calling for myself, I kind of want to just work acquisitions and become more of a closer. Yeah. So was working deal with Marcel. A lot of he really helped me close it. Like a lot of us talking to the seller initially. It was both of us talking to the foreclosure specialist who helped us stop the auction. was both of us, but all the paperwork was all him because I didn't even understand it. Closing attorneys, things like that. I didn't have a lot of knowledge about and in the content I make, especially on TikTok, things like that. I really want to stress the importance of the knowledge of paperwork and things like that. I feel like with any hustle or any non-conventional way of making money, when the people that like gurus and people on YouTube and things like that, they'll try to oversimplify it, just to grab attention. But it's a lot that goes into wholesaling. And either you have to pay to play, or you have to give up some control, and give up a percentage, so someone can help you, and a lot of I think a lot of people will lead you to believe that it's something different than what it is, because it's still a lot of hard work, and it doesn't come fast or easy. It's not hard, but it's hard work. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and I remember, quizzing you when you were at my house for dinner, and we have to do that again. I have tried to have you back, but it hasn't worked out. But I remember quizzing you because you were at the time using PropStream and a few other things, and I'm familiar, with the technology that's out there for wholesalers, and I also know it's expensive because I've looked into it myself. When I'm buying my own deals, I want to have an in too. And so I said, how are you affording this? And you impressed the heck out of me with your answer. Do you mind sharing with our audience how at 16 with no money, you were able to get access to a lot of information that other professional wholesalers have access to? But I thought you were very creative. Do you remember what you told me?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. It was unforgettable. Yours just completely unforgettable, Aiden. But you said free 30-day trial, and I was like,
oh yeah.
You said I have multiple.
I get everything,
and I respect that completely. I really do. Like, you have multiple email addresses, and you kept using the free 30-day trial, and I thought, good for him.
Yeah, PropStream don't play that though.
They don't.
They're gonna like, you're gonna need a new card, new email, new phone number. Yeah, they don't play that at all.
But I just can't say enough how much I respect your hustle and how much you want this. And I've been watching you, this past year. And I mean, I just take my hat off to you every time. Like, you think outside the box, you work hard, and you absolutely deserve every dime.
That's another part of I forgot. That's why, like, TikTok bio says I can help you turn $5 into 10,000. Because foreclosure.com, it had the free 30-day trial.
Okay.
And really the only money I put into finding, that's why I like pre-foreclosures. The only money I put into finding the leads was the $5 I had to skip trace all the pre-foreclosures in Savannah. Right. And the gas money to my car door knocking. But
so sitting here at 17 and you've been wholesaling with no money, arguably, what do you say when someone has an excuse like, oh, I can't do that because of X?
I get that part of it, but at the same time, I just turned 17. I don't have many responsibilities. I graduated early from high school, but I'm still at home. This is supposed to be my senior year. I don't have kids. I don't have to go into a job. I'm not worrying about even with other 17-year-olds. I'm in a privileged standpoint because I'm not worrying where my next meal is going to come from. So I understand it's hard because even with me doing this for 8 months, it was times where like I kind of step back and get a job because I'm like, hey man, I can't. It's stuff I want to do. I can't be chasing rainbows, but I think once I really locked in, it was like and focus, I got it because I think anything you can focus on, it'll happen. I think that's just a part of the human condition. If you really want something, you'll get it. But it of course there's obstacles. And I don't know if I would recommend a single mother or someone that is trying to feed their family. I don't know if I'd tell them, hey, give up on everything for 8 months and and come do this. And you won't make any money for 8 months, and you might even lose money on a site like PropStream or anything, something like that. And you might not ever it might take you longer than 8 months. But I know it can happen. And now that's what my goal is. Now that I know how to make it happen, is to is to shorten the formula and make it so somebody, instead of taking 8 months, they could do it in 2 months.
Mhm.
And that's another reason why I want to join the team. Because I wish I would have joined the team like as soon as I got started. So that probably would have had me I probably wouldn't have got as dissuaded as much as I did, or dissuaded. I think it's like this, as much as I did when I first started, because I wasn't making any money. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always wrestle like could someone make an excuse? But I mean, I'm in a very privileged standpoint, and that's why I'm glad I started when I did. I always tell people my age to get in on this, just because I believe anyone that's I feel like anyone under age of 25, if you don't have any kids, you haven't been to jail, or haven't been to prison, even if you've been to jail, if you haven't been to prison, you don't got no felonies, don't have any kids, I don't know, I would try anything, just do anything,
Don't take no.
take a lot of risk.
Mhm.
So Aiden, one thing that kind of surprises me with you is I remember when I was in high school, I shouldn't think as big as you. Like I was like flipping some stuff here and there, making $100. And I thought I was the coolest thing ever, making $100. What kind of shifts your mindset to like think that big? Because I would have never been like, oh, let me just go do this house. I was thinking
Man,
a lot more. So
it's
was
this,
it
like I
just the people
said,
you hung around?
huh?
Was it just the people that you hung around made you think a little bit bigger, or
Nah,
you
actually,
you've
no.
always been
Savannah,
like that?
no. Savannah. If the people I hung around, they think a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, like God tatted on me. I come from my grandfather. He believed in generational wealth. A lot of things he worked on, they didn't come to fruition. But he had the plan, he had the idea in his mind. And that's I think that's just some that's in us. Um, and I just don't like. I don't want to be an average individual. Like, we only have one life. And I've been aware of that since I was really young. So if I can do it, I'm going to do it. And it feel good to have some money in your pocket.
Yeah, it does. How,
So
I'll tell you, how has the confidence level changed? Like, it seems like the more money you have, the more confidence you have, and I can kind of tell in you.
I feel I think that's once you get a deal, that it now you're not just hey guys, I'm trying to wholesale.
Yeah.
Now you can feel you can um it's still a lot I need to learn, a lot more deals I need to get.
Yeah.
But it just you feel better about it, because when you just the little kid coming in here like, hey guys, I'm trying to wholesale, and it's the guy with 1,000 doors, and he's like, oh man, another wholesaler. now you got something to stand on, like, hey, I made money doing this.
You say, I am a wholesaler.
Yeah, because nothing wrong with it. I think it's like a negative connotation with it for some reason, but I think a lot of these guys, once they get big, they kind of forget where they came from. Or I guess they felt like they were better doing it than you were now. So I don't know.
Aiden, you keep talking about a team, and I love it. And I want to give a shout out to Marcel Sunday, who I have been trying to get on this podcast, and we will bring him on this podcast. But Marcel brought you in basically on his team, and I really see you in the future being the head of your own team. Would you agree? What kind of people are you looking to work with? Like, we have a lot of investors.
Well, yeah, that's
listening to this
Marcel.
podcast.
Marcel, that's what I was kind of getting at. Marcel, he done a lot for me. Like I said, that's I think that's the biggest person the person that played the most part in shaping me as a wholesaler. That is. I don't think that is the biggest person. I mean, I did join his team, but like I said earlier, in Savannah, Marcel is in the acquisition seat. He's bodying everything himself. So it's like, if I want to get to the place, if I want to become like him, then I can't really do it up under him. I have to forge my own path somewhere else. I can't if I want to be a closer, I can't do it doing lead gen, because I'm great at lead gen. I get you a lead, I can get you a whole bunch of leads. But I can't watch someone do it. I have to do it myself. And if he's doing it, then I can't do it myself. But if he had the infrastructure, which he will, by next year, Marcel, he gonna be so big, like he not even gonna answer my calls.
Yes, he
But
will.
if he had infrastructure, I definitely would be on his team. What I'm looking for right now is to Marcel's looking for a team. Matter of fact, so it's like, what I'm looking for is to be an acquisition seat, or more of a lead manager instead of a lead generation. But if he had the infrastructure, I'd definitely be like, because that's the person I owe the most to. So I would definitely be on his team. And he took me under his wing. And he didn't get it. I didn't pay for mentorship or anything like that, or like, so that's another reason I'm glad we did this deal together, because it got him his first flip, and I was like, man, you know, friends don't count favors, but it just felt like I owed so much to him, and it felt like I was like, all right, man, that's some of that debt's been repaid, and I can I can show my gratitude by getting him this first flip.
I think you're going to be the big dog in town very shortly, Aiden. I believe in you completely. And I think there are going to be some people that are going to want to work with you and say, what can I do? How can I help? Like, I think you need to set that goal. I'm going to have a team in 6 months, or now. I already have a team. It's just me who wants to be on it.
I definitely I definitely want to scale up, and I definitely want to help people in Savannah, because Savannah, everyone here has been so helpful to me. Even people, even if they like, even with MLS, when I was working on MLS, even if they like, oh, wholesaler shouldn't be on MLS, so we bump heads, they'll still give me advice and call me, and and help, because I was doing the 16. A lot of stuff, people, it's so many different opinions, things like I was just like I said, even now, I was kind of moving around aimlessly, just trying to see what throwing something at the wall and seeing if it sticks. So everyone's been really helpful, and I've learned a lot. So I want to repay that to everybody, especially you, especially both of y'all.
I love you. Aiden, what areas of Savannah do you see the most opportunities in right now? I know you know this market very well. Where do you think, if you were going to be buying property, where would you buy?
One's big on the through 406, Airbnbs and STVRs and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't really I like Airbnbs, and I know you can make a lot of money that way. But I don't see them being in Savannah. They're pretty viable, but I know Airbnbs nationwide are kind of seeing a downtrend. Just because people, like, they're charging hotel prices, and you gotta do chores while on vacation, and you gotta wash his laundry, then you gotta pay a fee. Even like, it's just crazy. And I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people like discourse and online discourse, like how they generally dislike Airbnbs. I see the most potential in areas like 31404. My family from East Savannah, things like that. A lot of people are moving back there. A lot of investors out of state are really interested in the area. The more rundown parts of 31401, like Kyler Brownsville, like parts of Kyler Brownsville that are part of 31401. I know a lot of people are interested in those areas. And even the 31405 and the whole Kyler Brownsville, that's gonna be the
I agree.
Like West 30th, West 30th to West 50th, Kyler Brownsville. I feel like that's gonna be the new Park Ave, because Park Ave used to be the same type of way 10, 15 years ago. So those are areas I'm looking in. I want to make sure that because those are predominantly black areas. And prior to a lot of commercial investors pushing people out of the area, a lot of it was black owned. And a lot of those older black people aren't as willing to sell because they feel like they're going to pay pennies a dollar. They just don't want to be pushed out of the area. And I want there to be at least still some strong black ownership in the area. Just
Yes,
because
I
Tyler
agree.
Brownsville is so much community there. And it kind of like the crime rate, things like that took a turn when it was less black ownership. Because people when they own something, they take pride in it. If you rent it, it's not the same sense of pride, it's not the same sense of community. So yeah, those areas I'm looking in, and eventually I want to get to the point where, like, even that's why Marcel, he's taught me a lot about stuff too, and owner finance. I want to get to the point where I'm owning things myself.
Yep.
It's same where you got that block at, Julie. That area, I like the area a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I like Tyler Brownsville. I've shown that area so many times for clients, and I'm like, this area is right next to downtown. Like, this is in 2 years, it's going to be double the value it is right now. Right now is where the values are, but it's still a little scary for people.
Yeah. And oh yeah, that's not West Savannah. A lot of people are scared of it now. Where that end market arena, everything, West Savannah is gonna blow up. I think it's gonna take a little longer. Brownsville is gonna take a blow up, but it's gonna blow up soon. It's a lot of little houses out there though. That's the thing. But commercial, like, it's gonna blow up. Like, it's gonna be huge eventually. Like, next 5 years or so.
So many people that.
Yeah, because everything's right near downtown. Downtown is expanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you can ride a bike over there. Mm-hmm.
That's a great area. I think commercials will come up and scoop all that up though.
Yeah, they trying.
Yeah.
So Aiden, I know your mom and your stepdad are real estate agents. Is that in your future? Are you planning to get licensed after you turn
I'll definitely get a license, just because access to MLS is a good advantage to have. And wholesale laws change so much that it might be required of you to have a license to wholesale. My stepfather, he isn't an agent. My mom, she became an agent a little after I started wholesaling. But she became an agent to help him with his investing. That's part of, like, that's what I kind of like about this, because all of me and my whole family, once they got started on the real estate thing, like, we all got started at the same time, kind of, and it was all to help each other. So Keem, my stepfather, he invests. My mom's an agent and I'm a wholesaler, so I wholesale a deal to him. That was kind of the whole idea. And Keem's doing really well. My uncle who told me about wholesaling, Terry, he's doing really well. They both really big in the burn. And Keem, he's just finishing up a flip. Well, not a flip. He's going bird. Okay. But he's finishing up a deal on Indiana. Yeah, Indiana.
State Streets. I love the State Streets. Love. That's another area that's going to double in value very quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah, State Street. Yeah, they're going to blow up. Capital, all that. The whole area going to blow up.
I agree. Well, Aiden, you probably don't need this because of your family, but I hope you know, when you get licensed, if you're looking for a team, Team 912 would have you in a second. I would love to work with you, but we're going to work together whether we're on the same team or not. But I just want to put that out there. Like, you will always have a seat with me. I just believe in you completely. And I have so much respect for your work ethic, and your family is wonderful. You and your entire family have just been a pleasure to get to know.
Of course. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean it. Huh, Chandler?
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna get out there soon.
Okay. Yep. You got to start studying. You can get your license on your birthday.
I could, yeah. I really should start, because I know that you can go to real estate school at 17.
Yeah, that's right. You just can't take the test.
Yeah, so I could just study all year.
It's so much fun to study for your license. Not.
I want to ask about, like, your friends in high school. Did they kind of jump on this with you, or were they kind of?
I mean, some of them, like, people only show interest once they see you making some money. And even when they show interest, they don't have the same, like, drive as you. They're not going, if I went door knocking with a couple people. They're not going, like, it's not going to be same it's not going to be as consistent because they don't see the vision. They don't,
Yeah.
um it's not their dream. It's kind of like, if I didn't have the greater goal of generational wealth, and if I didn't know, like, the power of real estate, then I would have gave up too. Like, it would have just been another hustle to me. But it's not another hustle to me. So a couple of my friends, um, they show interest, and I'll be like, hey, if a vacant house or something like that, you send it. You just around the area, you see a vacant house, you send it. And I do a deal off it. I'll give you $1,000 upon closing or whatever, as incentives. But people, like I always, people, you can only really rely on yourself. So nobody's going to be as consistent or as focused on your dream as you are going to be. So,
Did any of
like,
your friends try to tear you down with this dream?
no,
Aiden?
of course not.
Okay, that's good. Like in high
Um,
school, I mean, but
I mean, now I used to be I used to be on the phone in class calling like my teachers, all that, like, they supported it heavily.
great.
Um,
Wow.
because yeah, everybody, like, I kind of, like, they kind of let me just do what I want. And because they believed in it. Nobody ever, like, down talked or anything like that. They was, happy that, just doing something positive, and it's a little out of the norm. And they was proud of me. All my friends proud of me. When the deal came through.
I just want to point out, Aiden, we didn't say this yet, but you were technically supposed to graduate high school class of 2024. Is that right?
Yeah, I was.
And you've been in college for definitely a semester. Did you do a whole year of college already? And you went ahead and finished after your
I
year.
think, for like 2 semesters. I
Okay.
should have did in the summer. I would have had an associate's by the end next semester, but I wasn't really focused. I was trying to get the next deal.
Yeah. I just want to point that out so people understand how exceptional you are. You definitely are not the guy doing things like every other guy. And it was funny because you came to my home and we had dinner, and you were 16 at the time. And then, my 17-year-old walked in and I introduced him to you. And I told him later, I said, son, that kid's making you look bad. Like, you got to do more in life, like you're not the typical teenager that anyone's going to meet. It's just such an honor to be your friend. Like, I just want to point out that you're already in college and you've been there for a while. And that's really not normal in the best way possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been once, like I said, like, I have a greater goal. And I think, if you have a greater goal, like, I think a lot of, even me, it's just, when you young, it's so many, especially in the internet age, it's so many options available to you. It's hard to know what you're gonna do, and it's, a million people in your face telling you, hey, you can make $1 million in 2 months doing this and doing that and doing that. And you really can't. But it's hard to stick to one thing, and it's a billion things you want to do, and a billion things distracting you. And so I don't, like, even my friends, I don't, like, fault them for wanting to do other things, or just not having the same drive or goal, or just wanting more in life outside of right now, or not looking to the future, because it's, as a young person, it's hard to, especially in Savannah, because there's a lot going on. But I have a greater goal.
So I want to ask, so you made 10,000. Did you reinvest that 10,000? Did you reward yourself? Like, what did you do?
I put half up, and learn how to structure, like, taxes, things like that, because I got a business account now, with my LLC. And yeah, a lot of it I reinvested. Most of that went to fixing my car up. Because I got to do some door knocking, but and draw for that. But yeah, I reinvested into to different like, real estate, like Privy, and the subscriptions I have, foreclosure.com. Most of it was put up. Uh, I did do a little bit of splurging here and there, but yeah, even when I was working, I always put half my checks up. Always,
Okay.
I putting up more.
Yeah, because I know when I was younger and I got paid for the first time, no one taught me anything, and I was splurging.
My
You're
mom was like,
doing
always.
everything.
I'm a I'm not the best with money, but I always make sure I got something put up for a rainy day.
Yeah,
Um, because it's the worst thing to be the guy that makes the big check and blows it all away, and then you see him 2 weeks later and he asking for $1.
yeah.
Aiden, I hope you know you can knock on my door anytime. And we are going to do a deal together. Anytime you get something, I will send it to my buyers list. I have a very big one. So I'll definitely put it out there. This is from Aiden, so I just really,
I just got to. That's why I need to get bigger and better at this. So I can have deals consistently for everybody. Because there's so much people that show me love, and I wanna have deals for them, especially people that are new to like trying to just get started and things like that. I wanna work with them just so they have um they first wholesaling.
that's huge. Well, Aiden, thank you for coming today. We just really enjoyed having you, and I'm excited to help get your story out there because it's so powerful. It was just really an honor to have you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. And I was surprised when you texted me. I was like, oh wow.
This, I predict, will be the first interview of many for podcasting for you, Aiden. You just have a very compelling story, and you're just going to get bigger and be more and more successful. The first deal, I don't care if you're buying it or wholesaling it, the first deal is the hardest one. And after that, as you know, it gets easier.
It gets
So,
easier.
yeah.
I hope. Uh, I hope so. I hope I get bigger with this.
Tell us your social media, Aiden, and we're going to put Aiden has a Google Voice number. We're going to put that in the show notes, but tell us your social media. I know people would love to follow you on social media and maybe reach out.
Yeah, on Instagram, my social media is a dot w underscore homes. And that's on Instagram. On TikTok, it's A6 from the island. And the is DA instead of THE. And TikTok, my TikTok blew up. I think I'm gonna post some clips of this on my TikTok. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. We'll have those handles in the show notes as well. If anyone wants to reach out to Aiden, please reach out to Aiden. We want to support our own. This is a local boy doing a lot of local things in this really blowing up market right here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Aiden.
Thank you, Chandler. I
We hope
appreciate you
to
too,
have you
man.
back after you do your next deal. We should come back and tell us about it. All right.
Of course, I will. I'll probably sell it to y'all. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Aiden.
All right.
Bye.
We're gonna give a special thank you to Aiden Wigfall for coming on. He has a bright future coming up. Please like, comment, tag, share. Please spread the word, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
See ya.